Ladies and gentlemen, there is a loophole that can allow you to legally purchase delta-9 THC hemp, and I will be discussing that in this video today. And I'll be discussing this company, 3 Chai, which is delta-9 THC hemp, less than 0.3% per gummy, which we'll get into the logistics of it in a minute. This is your daily dose of mental health, and in this video today we will be comparing this and discussing more so this compared to a dispensary grade edible. Please like and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, leave a comment if you've tried delta-9 hemp edibles. These are free. Viewer discretion, you must be 21 and older to try these, but essentially this is legal hemp THC. Let's jump right on into the video and I'll be discussing this company and go into more information about it. Alright, so in this video today, as I said, we will be discussing delta-9 hemp THC gummies and compare them to potency of a normal THC gummy you would buy at a dispensary. Once again, you must be 21 years and older to purchase one of these products, but today is going to be more so an educational video in regards to how these are created, why these are legal with being under 0.3%, and just give some information that I think would be very helpful to anyone out there who's interested in trying these gummies. Note, it's only for gummies that this will actually produce a similar effect to a dispensary grade edible. So flower-wise, not the same thing. Flower-wise, delta-9, 0.3, you couldn't make it near as potent due to the dry weight. So we're going to kind of be discussing what is an optimum delta-9 THC gummy dose, how many gummies should you take at a time, little things like that. First and foremost, delta-9 THC gummies are chewable. There are juicy textures that also offer measured amounts of delta-9 THC, and the flavors are pretty good. For example, like this is a strawberry one. This is a legal way to enjoy the normal benefits of delta-9 THC. Remember, this is legal delta-9 THC, however, it's hemp derived. Keyword hemp derived. It's not derived from cannabis, it's derived from hemp. However, when discussing hemp has little amounts, typically less than 0.3% of cannabis in it. And what they're doing with these edibles is they're making them a little bit bigger and they're adding more dry weight to them to make an edible that technically has 10 milligrams, like with these right here, 10 milligrams of delta-9 THC in them. However, it still has less than 0.3 THC in it, but once again, that's excluding the dry weight purpose. So when you add the dry weight into it, it equates to 10 milligrams of delta-9 THC. I will discuss a little bit later what I have gotten from it. I've tried it a couple times and I've had regular edibles in Colorado before too. So I will tell you the truth on them. So first and foremost, this is really big. First and foremost, delta-9 gummies are a recent addition to the legal hemp space. There's also been things like delta-8 on the market. There's also delta-10, so therefore a lot of users wonder how to dose delta-9 edibles properly. For example, how many gummies should one take to experience optimal effects without experiencing any side effects? Because trust me, you can with these. If you take too much of this, you can go have some psychosis and paranoia, and it can be more strong than a regular edible. So I'm going to try to shed some light on some of the issues that could help you or a user get an adequate dose of delta-9 THC hemp derived. I keep saying hemp because it has cannabis in it, but it's hemp derived. I don't want you to get mad at me saying this. So let's go like this. So can you take too much delta-9 THC? Yes, you can. Remember, delta-9 THC is it's the psychoactive compound responsible for the intoxicating properties associated with cannabis, with the cannabis plant. Its ability to get users high is a reason to declare it illegal, but however, once again, that's what declares it illegal. However, as I said, Only products with 0.3% delta-9 THC concentration are legal for sale and consumption. The low dose of delta-9 THC produces relaxation and recreational effects. However, the excessive amounts of delta-9 THC is associated with, as I stated before, severe side effects including paranoia, delusions, mental fog, impaired motor skills, and increased feelings of anxiety, feelings of having a heart attack, etc., etc. Therefore, it is critical that when you take an adequate quantity of the compound to avoid overdosing or overdoing it. What I mean by overdosing is taking too many. For example, on this pack right here, it says on it, so there's 40 of these, 200 milligrams total. A starting dose would be a half gummy. And I tend to agree with this because a half of a gummy is 5 milligrams. If you are not experienced and you have a full one of these, you will get very, very, very baked. A lot of times people who have not had an edible in general don't understand how long they take to kick in. They think since they've smoked marijuana a lot of times in their past or smoked cannabis, it hits you pretty instantaneously. They think that, oh, an edible, I'm not feeling anything after 30 minutes, then an hour passes and they've taken already, let's say 10 milligrams of an edible. Then they take another 5 or 10, and then an hour and a half passes and they start to feel it, and then they feel that brick wall effect hit them. That is what I'm discussing in regards as well to the delta-9 hemp side. If you have no experience or very little experience or have a very low tolerance to edibles, like myself, typically I'm not taking, for me even, one of these, a full delta-9 hemp-derived THC edible. For me, I have found my sweet spot with these right here, with this company, which they are very, very good, the 3 Chai. I've had their watermelon, this is their strawberry one. Remember, this is legal. The best dose for me is around 5 to 7.5 milligrams, which compared to a regular edible, let's say from Colorado or even Illinois, it's a similar feeling. The only difference I will say is I do feel like these take a little bit longer to kick in. So if you, even on an empty stomach, if I eat 7.5 milligrams of one of these, an hour and a half will pass and I'll be like, when's it going to kick in? I might get a little antsy and take a little bit more of one. And then once I do that, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. And you'll just take off. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but be very careful with these. They do work. They are great, and I've noticed for anxiety and depression if used at a very low dose. That's why I always say start low and go slow. So to sum up, for me, are these similar to regular edibles, cannabis dispensary grade? Yes. I've seen a lot of negative reviews on Reddit and even YouTube videos just trashing them, and I feel like a lot of those people who make those videos are noobs who are literally trying to get you to take a full pack and fuck you over and get you insanely ripped. That's my honest opinion. Do not overdo it with these. If you're an experienced user, still start with 1, maybe 1.5 at most. They work. And once again, I'm in a legal state. So let's just jump right on into the next part. So understanding delta-9 THC potency. You can better calculate an ideal optimum dose of delta-9 THC by understanding the potency of the psychoactive compound in a product. So, since the concentration of delta-9 THC cannot exceed, remember, it's that right here, as it says, if you can't read, it says right here, the 0.3% right there, it cannot exceed that in a product. It is easy to assume each product contains very little quality of the psychoactive cannabinoid. However, it can be misleading, and you might end up taking a higher dose of the cannabis extracted compound. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Start low, go slow. The potency of delta-9 in one of these gummy products depends upon really 2 factors. The overall strength of the product in milligrams, and the milligram strength of the delta-9 within the product determines its potency. So as stated, with this, 10 milligrams of delta-9 per gummy. That is saying, yes, 10 milligrams of delta-9 THC hemp derived from a gummy. The reason why you can get that full 10 milligrams in, it's because of the dry weight. They're bigger gummies. They're a lot bigger gummies. They're thicker. Don't let that distract you and say, oh, it's just 0.3% for a gummy. No, they will get you stoned. I will tell you that now. Most manufacturers specifically mention the THC quantity users will get from each piece of their delta-9 gummy, and that's what I like about this. There's this company right here, it does. And also, if you go online, you can, whichever product you do pick or you get, they will show the lab results to it. And I'm not, once again, an affiliate to this company. This is just one I've used the past couple times, and it works really well. So, real quick, I just want to say this. I wanted to do this video. This is a little bit different, but it's a mental health video. Everyone is different with these. This is something I found interesting and tried one of them with, or half of one, and it is essentially the same thing for me as a regular edible. Every individual responds differently to a dose of delta-9 THC depending on the body's endocannabinoid system, that's the ECS, and how it interacts with your natural body chemistry and compound. That's why you need to make sure, as I said, you start slow, you start very slow, and go slow. Most often, the delta-9 gummies do not contain any information on how much to take. That's why it's cool with this product. It says start out with half. I think that's good. That's a very low dose. So on a lot of the other packagings, it says it leaves users, it's really a trial by error. And I think that is dangerous. I think they should put a starting dose. That's why I'm saying I like how this company has lab results, and it's less. It'll say start with 5 milligrams of one of these. So once again, it says on the back of this, serving size. It says right here, 1/2 gummy. There's 40 of these. It's 200 milligrams of delta-9 THC. Typically, if you go to a dispensary, you can only buy, like in Colorado or even Illinois, it's 100 milligrams of THC gummies. This is twice as much THC, delta-9 THC, and the pricing is not that bad either. You minimize the tax repercussions you typically get from a dispensary. Remember, proceed very slowly. It can take, typically on these, I've noticed, and I have a fast metabolism, typically takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours to get an effect, and that is with, as well, an empty stomach. So be careful with it. I, like many others, have made the mistake of taking edibles numerous times, and I feel like I would learn, but sometimes I'm stupid like 99% of other people. You take 5 milligrams of a gummy or 7.5 milligrams, 75% of one. You wait an hour and you're like, I'm not feeling anything. Let me take just a little bit more. You take another 5 milligrams, so you're around 12, and then once you hit that 2 hour mark, you're going up, and it feels good, but it can be intense. So just be cautious of that. I do think this is good for states that don't have legal recreational cannabis, because I do think it has a lot of potential. Hemp is something that is used for many different reasons, and the only reason this is legal is because of that 2018 Farm Bill, and this is a loophole that has been discovered. And lastly, I want to discuss your overall goals. What do you want out of your delta-9 intake? Intake matters to determine an adequate dose for you. Are you interested to find out how many gummies you need to take to feel effects? Are you taking it for pain? What are you taking it for? If you're interested in getting a light mental buzz or want to unwind at the end of the day, you might need a different amount of delta-9 in each situation. Depending on the situation, pain, disease, neuropathies, anxiety, depression. So depending on your expectations, you take a varying number of delta-9 gummy pieces. Once again, whatever you're taking it for, start low, go slow. For somebody who's experienced, start with 1 or up from there. I can't give, once again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just trying to give advice to somebody out there who does not understand how many of these you should take, or to help somebody save them from not overdoing it. And if you do feel that feeling, if you feel like that very paranoid feeling, it will subside. Try to calm down, drink some water, try to listen to some peaceful music, and most definitely, when you're taking anything, hemp-derived THC, anything, be in a safe environment, please. Do this in a safe environment. Just because it's legal does not mean, oh, I'm going to go pop one of these and go drive. No, do not do that. Please, if you're going to do this, if you're going to use one of these, please be in a safe environment. B, if you are feeling very anxious and you are alone, make sure you have things to minimize those effects. And I know typically probably somebody's watching this right now who is actively up there, but let me tell you, for educational purposes, hydration, splash some water on your face, listen to some music if you can, focus on your breathing. You might feel like you're having a heart attack or elevated heart rate. That's very common if you take too much of this. It will pass. It will pass. Real quick as well, always remember, as I said, I have a fast metabolism and it took 2 hours. Weight and age have a massive effect on how you will take an edible. Real quick, before I go any further, I'm almost done with this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've tried a delta-9 THC edible in the past and your experience with it, or any advice you would give to somebody out there who has tried them before, or if you've ever had a negative experience from it. So, remember, tolerance level is huge. If you're used to taking edibles, once again, I would start with half of one, but no more than one at first. That's just my own opinion. I know I'll get probably crap from people saying, oh, that's weak. No, that might be weak, but you always want to be on the safe side of this. Real quick, final thoughts on this. Be safe. You must be 21 and older to use these. Make sure you are getting these from a company that can give you lab results. Make sure when taking an edible, be prepared to possibly have some negative side effects from it, meaning heightened anxiety or depression. A lot of people, in very low doses, this can help with anxiety. But once again, if you take a full one and you're not used to it and you're like, I'm going to take this for anxiety and depression, it could skyrocket your anxiety and depression and make it a horrible experience. But however, if that does happen to you, if you take too much of it, I know it's hard to say this, but it's happened to me. Do not panic. You will be okay. Listen to some music, drink some water, put some pepper on your tongue. That helps. Distractions, and call a friend if you can. Call a friend. It never hurt anyone to call a friend. I have tried these. I have tried regular edibles. For me, my sweet spot is around 5 to 7.5 milligrams. I've had too much of it before, and I've had to the things that help me, as stated, are water, relaxing music, heck, even some video games if I can, and just deep breathing and realizing it will be okay and it will pass. Different type of video for the daily dose of mental health, but I love you all, and I want you all to stay safe out there, knowing that these are emerging on the scene. Stay safe. I love you. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment, and we will see you in my next mental health video coming up. I don't know quite what it'll be yet, but it'll be something, as you know, mental health related. It might be about my journey as being a psych nurse. It might be drug education. It might be another video discussing delta-9. It's all about mental health, so that's what this channel is. Leave a comment. I love you all. Have a great day.